Hey everybody, Spegtacular, the Silver Stacular. I want to come over here real quick to the computer. Look at this right here, right? The American Liberty 2025 High Relief Gold Coin and 2025 Silver Medal are both, as of right now, sold out. That doesn't mean that they're going to be sold out forever, this whole Remind Me thing you can see right there. But if you come here, you can also see that it's currently unavailable. That just means that if people end up canceling their orders, if they get something and they don't like it and they return it, whatever the case may be, they could get more of these. So it's not available as of this very moment, but it ended up becoming unavailable after about 3 hours of being on the USMint's website. And so that's fascinating. That's great for people trying to resell these. As of right now, these right here, when you could have bought them for $4,265, which is a huge amount for sure, but they sell for $1,000 to $1,200 right now, over that price easily in the secondary market. And for those people that are like, man, I couldn't afford the gold no matter what, it's just way too expensive. The silver medal also is selling for quite a bit more, between $60 and $80 more than you purchased it for only days later. I mean, literally 2 days later, you could have got that price for these. So why am I saying this right here? Because this is an excellent flip potential for some of these pieces from the US Mint. Not all of them, some of them. As you saw, the limits on these right here were fairly decent, and that means, doing your little bit of research once in a while on pieces, you can see that the mintage limit and the product limit right here are relatively low, and the collector and fan base for those was very high. So you can feel out the the community and see that, hey, this is probably going to be a good piece. 60,000 seems high, but when it's a limited piece, it's like a one-of-a-kind piece, then 60,000 no longer becomes that big of an issue, especially when you can buy two. So there was a household order limit of 2 on these, and that might have actually got opened up to a higher limit as the day went by. I don't know. I got my pieces early. The US Mint website was phenomenal. I don't know. The wife ended up buying these for me, but she said it was a pleasant experience. For those of you that are like, I'm no longer buying from the US Mint ever again because of something that happened 4 years ago, come on. Let's actually give people and places a chance. All right, they've done something completely new. You can't just hate them forever for something that happened from before. There was a problem, and they fixed that particular problem. I don't know that they're good in every way, and that they got possible, but at least in the way of the website crashing and doing the captchas and stuff and all that nastiness, they fixed all that. So let's give them a chance from here on out. Now, the Superman pieces are very interesting because those did not sell out. Those are still available, each and every one. And so, looking at the product limit and the mintage limit on these things, I made the decision not to get the Supermans because they were just so available. And I think that the United States Mint is making these to the point where they can be so available because they are proud of their, basically their ability to work with, Superman and those characters. I think Batman's coming next. So the DC universe, that is DC, right? The DC universe is like, I think they're proud of that. They're proud of that ability, so they're just making whatever. For instance, this one right here can be made to order. There's no mintage limit, no household limit. You can order 10,000 of these today if you wanted to. So those are the kind of things, if you're a flipper, not that big of a deal, but these American Liberty pieces typically have been a great flip. Now, I had some comments, right? People saying like, hey, Spegtacular, how can you afford those things? Like, I can't afford those things. Well, if you've been watching my channel for any amount of time, I have been trying my best to show you a great investment in silver and gold and collectibles, right? So if you have been watching my channel for any amount of time, you can definitely afford those. In fact, at some point, because of the I don't know, what do I want to say? The uptick in gold and silver. If you've been collecting bullion, it could be a time to offload some of that stuff, pay off those bills that you have. Those should have probably been gone a while ago. You know what I'm talking about. And or use some of that money for other investments. And something like that actually has been, historically, the last few years, the American Liberty pieces have been a great investment. And so literally, I don't know how you can complain about that. An additional $1,200 2 days later on this piece right here. At the worst, you're getting $1,000 extra for that piece right there. 2 days later, that's better than any stock. Shoot, that's better than Bitcoin, realistically, if you think about it. That's a great price and a great, come up on such a simple piece. But yes, sell some of your stuff if you need to, and think about getting into some, some collector pieces, some better quality coins that are, a little bit better than you would normally get, in order to flip. If you are a flipper, if not, ignore that part. If you're not a flipper and you just love them for the beauty of them, which I do, I'm personally that's me on this particular situation, then whatever, get those. I see a lot of people going, silver is silver. Why would you even buy something over spot? And it's funny because some guy ended up saying that to me, and they were on social media, and then I ended up looking at their page and finding out that they buy a lot of stuff over spot. They don't follow that rule at all, but they just felt like shouting that out real briefly because they're trolls. I mean, that's what people do. That being said, anybody could have afforded that silver medal right there. It's just such a pretty piece, and you could have got two. You could have had one for yourself and one to flip, and that one that you flipped could have almost paid for this one by itself. Now, I'm being a little negative on the community right now, but a lot of positivity came from the community on this piece too. A lot of people talked about how beautiful it was. A lot of people, were able to get it. I've heard very few people saying that they were struggling to get it and couldn't. One thing that I will say that is a negative for the United States Mint that I still think is wrong is how they end up offering these pieces to certain companies before the release day. I think that's wrong. I think that should not be done. That whole advanced early release nonsense that they allow for, that these companies can get this stuff early access and then resell them, actually have them graded and resold before even the release day. I think that's wrong. I think that's not good for the community. I think we all need to be waiting in line. These big companies, sure, they can only get their limit just like we can. And that's the way it should be. That would make these pieces, I think, shine even more. That being said, I'm excited to get mine. Hopefully I get it. There's still a chance that the United States Mint, for whatever reason, could cancel my order, although the order was confirmed. Stranger things have happened. So anyways, if you got this piece, bravo to you. You have a great collector's piece, and you have a great flip potential if you decide that you don't want it. Now, is that flip potential going to be good later in this month, later in the year, next year, et cetera, who knows? But if history is any indication of what's going to happen with these pieces, the last American Liberty pieces are still doing very well in the secondary market. And so, and it's not all American Liberties. It's like from the bucking bronco piece on. And I mean like into the future on, not into the past. Those pieces have done very, very well. So that's the bucking bronco. You got the one with the tree, the flowing hair, and now this right here, the sunflower. So, so far so good on these. My table is a mess right now. I'm getting ready for a big show on my birthday, August 31st, over on Whatnot. Hopefully I can see you over there. And this is not an advertisement for them. This is just me trying to talk about a really good collector's piece that you could have gotten. And if you did, pat yourselves on the back because it is awesome. Hopefully I can show the unboxing on this channel. I got to go for now. I appreciate you for watching. Spegtacular is out. Well, hello, everybody. I seek to educate and entertain through my journey of collecting coins and stacking precious metals. I encourage you to subscribe and please stay with me on this journey. I am Spegtacular, the Silver Stacular. When I was a kid, we did this every day in school, and I believe we need to bring this back a little bit, and I'm going to start right now. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.